Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Ken's TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Now, before we get into this afternoon story, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing. And let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. A lot of people are intrigued about penitentiary, man. Prison. They really think that we're in there and we got our backs up against the wall and we just fighting and knocking each other out. And now, why it does get barbaric, if you will, from time to time, it's just not the way that prison is. Oftentimes, the infamous saying, never judge a book by its cover, it's thrown out the window in prison. Plenty of people get judged based upon their appearance. Take a young man. At the time, he was a younger man. George was about maybe 5'8", no more than 5'9", 155, 160 pounds at best. White dude, blonde hair. Used to rock like the little chin strap, beard or whatever, thin goatee or whatever. There was a famous singer back in the day, John B. He was infamous. And kind of reminds you of him. If you're not familiar, look him up. I might even throw him in the thumbnail. I don't know. Probably won't when I really think about it. But if you care enough to Google John B. if you're not familiar, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Now, George was one of those individuals you never would have thought this dude would be in prison. Let me give you the backstory as far as how I initially met George as a kid. Coming up, we didn't come from any money. My mom has, 9, 10 siblings. They were very poor coming up. So when my mom got divorced, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 3 years old. My mom decided she wanted to go back to school and, make a better life for herself or whatever. So we got put in subsidized housing. We were in subsidized housing. We didn't get sent to the projects, to the main projects. A lot of times that's what happens. You sign up for subsidized housing or whatever, and they're going to send you to the projects. Thing is, the projects, they were totally full. You got east side, you got west side. And there's other projects. You got projects on the north side, and then on the south side just as well. That's where they ended up sending us at. But they're not the regular, projects, if you will. My mom always had she had a plan. Go to school, work, always kept a job, and I'm going to get us out of here. And that she did. We lived there maybe 5 or 6 years. And I never will forget, I came home one summer. I had been in Indiana with my uncle, which is her oldest brother. Spent the summer up there. I'm getting in trouble, getting fights and all type of stuff all summer long. They lived in the projects. Funnest time of my life. At any rate, I come home after being there all summer, and my mom hits me with the devastating news that we're moving. We moving for what? I don't want to move. I like it here. All my friends are here. We got to go. We got to move or whatever. Use that as a stepping stone. We don't have to be here at this point. I got a better job. I got a, better education or whatever. So I'm sad, man. We moved to these apartments, and it's not really a lot of kids out there. Now, I don't know how it is in your state, but in Kentucky, I'm assuming it's like this everywhere. It's always going to be, okay, you take a neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, right? And right down the street, right around the corner. Hell, sometimes in the neighborhood, it's always some apartments. Well, we lived in these apartments down the street from the real nice, nice houses or whatever. That's how I ended up running across George. I used to go over there. They had a basketball goal, man, and they were so nice. They used to let us come over and play ball even when George wasn't at home. I go over there. It's probably 5 or 6 of us or whatever. I'm dominating everybody, Just the way that it was back then. Not trying to brag. I'm just saying I was just a couple steps better than them, hooping or whatever. It was an individual that went to school with us by the name of Mario. I didn't really know Mario. I had seen him, but I didn't really know because, see, my grandfather, they lived, in the hood or right around the corner from the hood. So I would see, like, it was like I had two sets of friends. I had all my friends from the previous place where we moved. Then I had all my friends that, when I went to my grandparents' house was every weekend pretty much. And I had ran across Mario a time or two, but I didn't really know him like that. Well, we were all going to school together. Somehow him and George got real cool, and he started to spend the night from time to time at George's house. George's parents really took to Mario. Lived way across town, way across town, and he lived in the hood or whatever. Now, Mario was a black dude about my complexion, but he was just bigger. He was bigger than me. Now, at the time, he wasn't 5'11". He's 5'11" now. But at the time, he was just a bigger kid. It's always a kid that's bigger or whatever. And he just had like a real loud laugh, but he was funny, man. Dude was really funny. Had a likable personality. You just ever run across anybody that just has a great personality and you just like them right off top? That's how Mario was. Didn't bother a soul or whatever. So he would start to spend the night and spend more and more time over at George's house. And it got to the point to where he was basically living there. Going to school from George's house every day. He might go home on the weekends or, because he missed his mom and he missed his friends over there just as well. But Mario's mom was okay with it because it was keeping him out of the hood. It was keeping him out of the streets. He was with some people that, they truly trusted, and that bond grew. I'm talking about it got to the point, man, they treated Mario just like they treated George. They also had another son as well. I believe he was like 2 years older or whatever. But everywhere you seen George, you seen Mario, and vice versa. Nobody at school bet not say nothing to George. Even though George wasn't that type of kid, but you bet not say anything to George, because if you do, you're going to have to deal with this dude. And you didn't want them problems back then. Probably don't want them problems now, to be honest. But nevertheless, that's just the way that it was. So these guys, at this point, we're in middle school. Which they actually called it junior high before they, changed it over to middle school. These guys will go on and be close throughout high school. And Mario was real good in football. So they didn't actually end up going to the same high school. There was another high school that they weren't really supposed to be recruiting, but you know how they do if you know anything about sports. They'll just call it something else and they'll entice you to come there or whatever. So Mario goes to the other school. And so their relationship kind of, it was, I wouldn't necessarily call it estranged, but they just weren't around each other as much. We were all in the same grade. I would run into them guys every once in a while, whatever, and yeah, man, we still cool. We, I might see them out at the mall or see them at the movies or something like that. Then once we finished high school, I didn't see them for a long time. I'm talking about, man, it was 7 or 8 years before I ran across either one of them. And that individual that I ended up running across was George. You see, George, he had gone to college. Once he got to college, man, he was just kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say that he was in the streets, but he was just doing his thing, man. Big weed smoker. Matter of fact, he was growing weed. Got to the point of where instead of just growing the weed, he started to sell it. Started making a lot of money. Well, Kens, what's the big deal? I'm in a Commonwealth state. A lot of places, weed at this point is becoming, legal. But in Kentucky, they will split you to the white meat, even over some weed, if you get caught up with enough of it. Commonwealth states don't play. So just think back then how they would do you. George is on campus for a couple years. He's not really doing everything that he's his grades. He's getting the grades just enough to hang around. But he's not really into school like that. He ends up getting busted with the weed. They caught him the first time. I guess his parents may have, his dad knew some people, whatever. They had some, strings pulled. Amazingly, he didn't even get thrown out of school. He was prosecuted, but they ended up giving him what's called the diversion program. The diversion program is for first-time offenders. You've never been in trouble before. If it's non-violent, it's not a SEX charge or what have you. Once you complete, you do everything and fulfill your end of the bargain or the agreement, nothing happens. Like, literally, it's like it never happened. It doesn't go on your record. So George is in school. Grades is, he's doing better or whatever. He's doing his community service, paying his fees, doing everything that he's supposed to do. Then he gets back to growing the weed again. I guess he missed the money. Parents had money, so I don't really, they weren't rich, but I never really understood why he was doing that anyway. Maybe it was the allure of the streets or the breaking the law. I don't know. I got a thing for the big body Benzes. Maybe he had a thing for the big body Benzes. Whatever the case may be. About 3 months before George was set to get off or complete the diversion program, he gets pulled over, smell weed, search the car, find a scale, find weed. He got about 400 or 500 on him. Now he has another case. Well, that diversion program now turns into a real case because he's caught another case. He's going back and forth to court. Essentially, he has 2 pending trafficking charges. Going back and forth to court. And the one judge that you didn't want to get, he ended up getting. I don't remember the judge's name, to be perfectly honest, but it was a judge in Fayette County, which is Lexington, Kentucky. Didn't give out probation. Didn't believe in probation. That was the judge you did not want to get. I want to say it was Killer Clark. If you got Killer Clark, hang it up, man. Your best hope would be she's going to send you to prison. You're going to get a taste of prison. And after 6 months, you can apply for what's called shock probation. In which, basically, the basis of that is, I've been in prison. I'm shocked by the culture. I'm shocked by everything that I've seen. So this has shocked me right back into doing things the right way, and I'll never do these things again. That was your best bet. Dealing with Killer Clark. Well, unfortunately for George, that's who we got. Like I said, 7, 8 years later, we in the pen, man. Penitentiary. Right across him. Looking at him. He looking at me. George, is that you? Oh, man. What in the world are you doing here? Plus, we behind the fence. We behind the walls. The lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, and birds. I don't even understand. I shouldn't even have been behind the fence. I definitely don't understand for some weed why he was behind the fence. Nevertheless, that's where we were. 2 mountains that never meet, but 2 men will. Pause. He's doing his thing or whatever. When I say he's doing his thing, he loves to play poker, man. He stays at that poker table. I always tell you all, it's a cardinal sin, man. Being at the poker table, it's a cardinal sin. Basketball court, cardinal sin. While you're in prison. See no evil, hear no evil. Mind your business. Don't borrow. Don't steal. Don't tell. These things are self-explanatory. Don't mess with anybody's significant other in there. And for the most part, you'll be okay, and stand up for yourself. Somebody tries you, you can, try to, hey, bro, I don't want no problems. But, if they don't put their hands on you, okay, you cool. If they put their hands on you, or if they attempt to, man, you got to at least fight, man. You got to try. Even if you can't fight or you're afraid, you got to at least try, because you'll be respected. Get an A for an effort. Might get beat up. But they're not going to let nobody just stomp you all the way out. Somebody going to, come on, man. That's enough, man. That's enough, bro. And so, you know, it's not like we hung out or anything like that. We didn't really hang out like that on the streets. We was just cool. Poker playing SOB, man. His moms will make sure he's straight. At the time, you could only spend $75 a week at the commissary. His mom was sending in $75 a week faithfully. Dad wasn't too happy with it. He wasn't sending him nothing. Mom would come and see him on a regular basis, at least, you know, every other weekend. Dad wasn't coming. Every blue moon he might pop up at a visit, but, you know, he was taking the tough love approach. So you got George, man. He got to the point to where he's just getting in debt. He got $75 a week. Back then, man, $75 a week, man, you can eat very, very well in prison for $75 if you're getting $75 a week. But he's not really able to see a lot of that money. Why? Because he's owing money to RG, Ronnie Garvin. I've talked about Ronnie Garvin in a story before. Ronnie Garvin was a white dude, probably about, he wasn't quite 6 foot, but I'm not ready to say he was 5'11". Maybe 5'10 and a half. Maybe 5'11". He weighing in at probably, he wasn't really that big of a dude. He might have weighed 205, maybe 210, something like that. Got tattoos or whatever. Short little buzz cut. Had like the little beard. He had a chin strap beard just as well. He was a barber. Ronnie Garvin was cool, man. Cut black people's hair or whatever. Not to say that all barbers can't do so, but I'm just saying he was cool on both sides. Cut the white boys' hair or whatever, Mexicans' hair or whatever. It's cold with the clippers. For y'all that are not familiar with the name Ronnie Garvin, once again, you can, if you want to do your due diligence, just Google Ronnie Garvin. He was a professional wrestler back in the day, and he had hands. I'm talking about, man, if Ronnie Garvin hit you with two of these, and you still standing, guess what? Ronnie Garvin's probably going to take off running. Because he know he done gave you the best that he had, and you still there? Giving you the best that I got. Known for having hands. Ronnie Garvin also was a somewhat of a booty bandit. He picked and chose who he was going to go after. Ronnie Garvin had been in and out of the system. And there's plenty of people that have been in and out of the system. So let's not get this misconstrued. Are not booty bandits. But Ronnie Garvin was. That wasn't his everything. He wasn't a Fleece Johnson. What did Fleece Johnson say is more important than water? Now, he wasn't that type. But from what I understand, from time to time, he would indulge. To each his own, if that's what you decide to do. If that's what you want to do. Ronnie Garvin had a thing for George. Initially, George didn't really understand it. Penitentiary, man. And people will... Fleece Johnson, and I'm going to briefly talk about this. I was just watching a video, Fleece Johnson. He was telling Big Lee. Big Lee is his partner over at Hustler Spirit 502. And he's the one that's always interviewing Fleece. And basically, he was talking about how he would wine and dine people and soft press them. That's what they call it, soft press. It wasn't any going up to him like, give me this, turn around, pull your pants down, bend over. Nah, that's not how they doing things. But what they will do is soft press you. Meaning, get you in debt. Fleece said that he moved the dude into the cell with him. Because at first he was giving him stuff. Hey man, want some of this chili? Want some of this chicken? Want some of these potatoes? First the dude's like, nah, come on, man. Ain't nobody on that, man. I'm not trying to, you don't owe me nothing. I'm just saying you seem like a good dude or whatever. You don't got a lot. I got everything. Whatever you need. So now you start to accept things from people. Flea said that he hadn't even made his move yet. He was just being normal. They would hoop, play pool. Man, you got me today. Flea said that he would even let the dude win, on the basketball court from time to time. In prison, you can do cell swaps. Meaning, if I'm in a cell with somebody and I want you in my cell, hey, man, why don't y'all swap out? So, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll pay you to move out and swap with dude or whatever so I can get, my partner in the cell with me. As long as all parties agree, it's not a problem to do so. So Fleece got the individual moved into the cell, and Fleece said that he started to get a little bit more comfortable with the dude and get the dude more comfortable with him. So Fleece said he grabbed him one day and they started wrestling. It's filling you out, seeing where you at strength-wise. Fleece said they would wrestle so often that he knew that the dude couldn't beat him. He knows that the dude can't whoop me. I'm too strong for him. I'm you know what I mean? I'm filling him out as we're wrestling. This would go on for, however many months, 2 or 3 months. These are the Fleece's words. This is not my assessment. This is not my assumption. This is exactly what Fleece said. Fleece said he staged one. Stage one meaning that you create an argument basically for nothing. No reason whatsoever. He said he comes in the cell one day and he tells the dude, hey, bruh, as much as I done for you and you do me like this. The dude is like, what are you talking about, man? Now, all of this correlates into my story, man. Y'all kick back, kick your feet up. It's a Friday afternoon. And if you like your 8 to 12 to 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better. Respectfully. 6 of my noodles is missing. And a can of my chili. Ain't nobody else been in this cell. Dude is like, bro, calm down. No, I'm not calming down. I'm not calming down. Bro, I haven't been in your locker. So you telling me I'm lying? You telling me my food grew legs and walked off? One of us is going to die. I don't care if it's me or if it's you. Somebody's going to die tonight. It's a scare tactic. Dude's afraid. He already know he can't whoop Fleece because he done, feel his power, Fleece would get him down and pin him down to where, wasn't trying to hurt him or whatever, but just to show him like, man, you better chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing with me. So what can he do? Psychological games. I know what I would do, but everybody ain't, cut from the same cloth. Man, y'all rock with me. This water's good. Come on, Kens, get back to the story, motherfucker. We ain't come here and watch you drink water, motherfucker. And so Fleece, the whole time, it was a plan. The plan was, man, I'm trying to, I want that. I want a piece of that. If I want you, I'm going to have you. It's called a soft press in prison. Eventually, the dude, all right, man, we just tried one time, but I ain't never stole nothing from you, man. I ain't never stole nothing from you. One time turned to two turned to three, and next thing you know, now you, in the words of Fleece, this is my man. You my man now. We go together. We a couple. Soft pressed him. Now, if you ask me, dude was probably already zesty because ain't no way that if you don't swing that direction, that somebody can just talk you into it or scare you into it, man. You better go out in a blaze. You know what I mean? You better go find you something to pick up. You better go get you a something before you just let an individual take you. Come on, man. So I think dude was probably already zesty in the first place. But it's just an example of how things go in prison. I believe that Ronnie Garvin was going in that direction with George as far as, kept him in debt. And then they put a tax on you. So if I owe you $30, say I owe you $60, and I bring you 40, bro, that's all I got is 40. Well, they're going to put a tax on it. And they're not going to just put a tax on the 20 that you short. No, I'm going to put a tax on this 60 total that you owe me, even though I brought you 40. Keep you in debt every week. You bringing them money. George is sick of this. He's like, man, dude, keep taxing me, but at the same time, Every time you lose your money on the poker table, you run to Ronnie Garvin, who's a store man, the house man, putting down the poker games, hosting the poker games for you all that are not familiar with putting down. So he's always owing this money, man. Got to the point to where Ronnie Garvin started to say little stuff to him. Start to show up more in the shower when George was in the shower. Because they weren't in a room together. But the showers, obviously, are not in the cell. So in penitentiary, everybody showers together in most prisons. Doesn't even sound right. Just think about that. Everybody showers together. It's kind of like the gym, though. Matter of fact, it's just like the gym showers. It might be 15 people in the shower all at once. And the activity, some of the things that go down in the prison shower, oh my God, they act as though nobody's just, it's not 12, 13 other people just standing around. People's in the showers getting busy, man. Y'all hear that, youngsters? Y'all out here and y'all running these streets, man, and y'all think y'all so tough and you know, it's a badge of honor to go to prison. I don't know who told you. I don't know who told you that, but whoever told you gave you some misinformation, if you will. Greatly misinformed you. Penitentiary is nasty. It's dog eat dog. It's miserable, and you know, survival of the fittest. So you got Ronnie Garvin, man. He's saying little things or whatever. Not really a threatening type of individual. He's not really, kind of like a soft-spoken, but like I said, if you get into it with him, man, you better bring it. You better know what you're doing, because you probably gonna go to sleep. He didn't just get that name just to, you know, he wasn't the self-proclaimed Ronnie Garvin. Nah, man, that's the name that he put in that work, and the people gave him. They gave him that name. Earned that name, Ronnie Garvin, man. Hands of stone. So he's soft pressing, you know, George. A couple weeks later, about a month or so later, I'm trying to get my facts right because this was like years ago. Grey Goose pulls up. That's just a bus, prison bus. It comes about once a week, sometimes twice. Once a week. Lo and behold, who gets off the Grey Goose? Mario. Mario gets sent to the joint. He's on the yard 2 or 3 days before he even runs across George. Neither one of them know that, you know, the other one's there. Prison, sometimes you might see a person once and then you don't see them for a long time. In certain prisons, you might not ever see them, depending on how big the prisons are. They end up seeing each other a couple of days after, like I mentioned, Mario got there. And it was an instant connection, as though all these years never even went by. They were cool. Both of them had a little money. You know, Mario wasn't rich or anything, but, you know, his people took care of him. He getting, you know, $40, $50 a week. George is getting $75 a week, so they gonna eat well. They arranged to have, since George was already on the yard, Mario moved into the cell with George. Cellies. Childhood friends. Bunch of stories, a bunch of memories. Mario wasn't really familiar with the situation with Ronnie Garvin. But what he did notice was, man, I know your mom's just taking care of you, like, and then I see you playing poker all the time, and I see you bringing these bags out of the cell, because when you lose $30, $40, you got to go get that at the end of the day or at the end of the night or whatever. You put it in a bag, and it's your responsibility to pay your debt. CO sees you with that bag, and he takes it. Guess what? The houseman ain't gonna, okay, well, what are we gonna do about this? When are you gonna get me my stuff? You know what I mean? You still owe it. And I've seen that happen time and time again. Try to catch you somebody cool that's working that day, but I mean, it just depends. They got cameras, all type of stuff. So it's very, very risky playing poker in prison anyway. Consistently taking out bags. Mario, bro, you need to stay off that table, man. You stay off that gambling table, man. I'm trying to eat every night. I got my little money. You got your money. We supposed to be, making big meals, big spreads every night, but we can't because you keep, I'm not going to sit up here and just eat in front of you. You my man's, 40 grand, but I mean, stay off that table. A couple more weeks goes past. George is frustrated, man. He finally breaks it down to Mario exactly what's going on. Bruh, dude is pressing me, man. He's saying little sexual things to me. Rubbed up against me in the shower the other day. Asked me to wash his back. He did what? Man, he asked me to wash his back, and it seemed like every time I'm in the shower, he pops up in the shower. Dang, bro. You for real? Yeah, man, I'm sick of it, man. I done paid him so much money in interest, and I can't keep paying him this money, man. My mom's done already, bailed me out a couple times where I owed him a couple $100, so I had to pretty much tell her, make up a lie, or my dad ain't really fooling with me like that. It's causing a divide at home because he wants her to show me tough love. I know it's my dad, he loves me. And at the same time, I'm her son, so she's looking out for me, and they're clashing at home. Bro, again, stay off that poker table, man. Just leave it alone. Leave the poker table alone, man. Pay dude off his debt. And pay everything if I got to help you. Pay dude off his debt, and then let it be. Exactly what they did. George paid the debt. Everything was cool, so he thought. It was hard for him to stay off the poker table. That's how he spent a lot of his time. But he got his childhood best friend there, so they would do other things, play, shoot around on the basketball court, play ping pong, play pool, other things you can do in prison besides play poker and gamble. The problem was Ronnie Garvin never let up off of George. Just kept saying stuff to him, trying to get him moved in his room. Bro, or in his cell. I'm good, man. Even got to the point to where he touched him, and that was the final straw. Groped him. George goes back, and when he's talking to Mario, he's not talking to him in a form of help me. He's just telling him like, man, I'm gonna get me a knife, man. I'm gonna do something, man. Well, Mario knows that George is not built this way. This is just not, he's not a valid bone in his body, not a punk or anything. He's just not valid. He don't have it in him. But the thing about it, Ronnie Garvin was trying to put it in him. Nah, man, it ain't going down like that. Mario said, come on, man. Where we going? Come on. Put your shoes on. Puts the shoes on. They know exactly where Ronnie Garvin's at. If he wasn't at the poker table, it's the weight pile. If he wasn't at the weight pile, he's on that handball court. Handball is very, very big in prison. They walk over to the handball court. Ronnie Garvin's at. Ronnie Garvin sit. There's a bench. They got like a, I guess it would be like a metal bench or whatever, and it's mounted to the ground. You can sit there. It's kind of like off to the side, so you need you some rest, or you just sitting there chilling, talking or whatever, waiting to play next, or you just finished playing handball, whatever the case may be. There was a bench right there. Ronnie Garvin sitting there with a couple of his buddies or whatever. George trailing behind Mario. And at this time, man, Mario, and they're grown. Remember I said as a kid he was bigger than everybody else. Now at this point he's, and I know y'all gonna say that he's not, but he is. He's literally about 5'11", for real. They're about the same height. Mario's probably got to be weighing in at about 230. He's solid. He's a football player, man. Went to college and played a couple years. Things didn't work out. Ended up dropping out of college, had a baby, never went back, and had a couple kids actually, and ended up getting into the streets and got caught up, and that's how he ended up in prison just as well. But he wasn't a bad kid coming up either. walks directly up to, I'm going to tell you one time, man. Surprised he did any talking. I'm going to tell you one time. Ronnie Garvin sitting on the bench. You say anything else to my dude, my partner, it's going to be me and you. We're going to dance, big boy. Ronnie Garvin is laughing. Shoot, we ain't got to wait. Make believe like I just said something to him again. Pretend that this is the next time. He stands up. They square up. They square up right there. Man, when I tell you Ronnie Garvin got hit so hard, Mario hit that boy so hard, like I say, about 230 and solid. Man, he broke his socket, his eye socket. He ruptured it or something like that. Like his whole socket knocked his eye out. The handball court is somewhat of a, it's kind of a blind spot. It's not totally a blind spot, but see, in prison, man, the officers, there's only so many officers. Yeah, they walk around on the yard, but there's so many people on the prison yard, and the yard is big. So you got a guard's tower, and you got a, they, way up high, and they got like their rifle, and they watching the yard or whatever. But, I mean, they can't see every single thing that goes on. Man, clock that boy in his eye. Ever seen somebody get their eye knocked out? Knocked his whole eye out of his head, man. Walked off. He's the man. He's the man. Mario whooped Ronnie Garvin. He whooped Ronnie Garvin. Needless to say, after that, boy never had no problem ever again on the yard. Of course, Ronnie Garvin, he didn't just go to regular medical. Nah, he had to go to like a hospital. He had to have surgery. They knew something had happened on the yard, but nobody said anything. Nobody said anything, man. They did their investigation. Yard get locked down for a couple hours, but nobody really got severely injured, although knocking somebody's eye out of their socket is, to me, is severe. Ronnie Garvin never came back to the yard. He never told. Kudos to him, he never told. Because if he told, they would have came and locked up Mario. Mario never seen the hoe. He thought that he was going to. Nothing ever came about. They both remained on the yard for however many more months, and they both ended up going to a prison camp. So they were no longer amongst the lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, and birds. It's crazy because I just ran into Mario about 2 weeks ago. He's doing well. He got twin boys. He got them in all three sports: basketball, football, and baseball. He's coaching. He's married. He's doing well. I asked him about George. He said George moved out of state somewhere. He's running his own business. I forget, some sort of consulting firm. I forget exactly. Like I said, his father, he has some connections or whatever. Said he's doing well. And it's just crazy because even if you look at Mario now, I mean, he's a nice-sized dude, but he's just a nice dude, and you don't really figure that he's the fighting type. But you just never know. You see, Mario, like I said, he came up in the projects. He came up in the hood. Well, he lived right around the corner from the projects, like literally right around the corner. So, but he was still in the hood. He just wasn't in the actual physical projects. And when they moved to the other side of town, a lot of people would try him. He moved to the north side. So when he moved to the north side, being that he was from the east side, dudes would jump on him. And they said, man, Mario was out there knocking fools out, man. They try to jump him, try to gang him, but he's knocking 3 and 4 dudes. So that's where he got his reputation of having them hands, man. Run up on Mario if you want to. And you're going to suffer some serious consequences, man. Before I go, I want to let you all know that I am doing this Thanksgiving meal for you all that are not familiar. Thanksgiving Day, going to feed the homeless in downtown Lexington. The goal is to get about 200 sack lunches, bag lunches. We're going to put some good stuff in there. I want to have some ham sandwiches, some turkey, some roast beef maybe, a couple bags of chips, maybe orange, apple, some dessert, water. It's not a hot meal. It's not a traditional Thanksgiving meal, but guess what? It's something. Maybe perhaps next year we can do the regular Thanksgiving meal, but this year, this is what it's going to be. People have been sending in donations. $ KENZ 1000. $KENZ as in zebra 1000. That's my cash app. Like I said, I'm going to record it. People are going to, every dime is going towards the homeless. Every cent. There is no me taking out something for myself. All this money is going towards the homeless. See, people just need a chance in life. And sometimes an individual just showing that they care about you, it's all it takes to give that person that boost, that motivation. And that's what I plan to do on Thanksgiving. So if you want to make a donation, no donation is too large, obviously, and none is too small. $ KENZ as in zebra 1000. It's my cash app, man. Y'all holler at your boy, man. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. That's how Ronnie Garvin, man. That's how he got hit, man. Mario. But it only took one. Don't tell Ronnie Garvin I said that, man, because dude probably still got them hands, man. Real Kens TV.